What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Dominic Rich. I'm in the car. I'm relaxed, and I've just been working very hard during the Gold Cup. So I figured I'll just take a little break and sit back in the car and talk about this game and not do any editing whatsoever. I just want to share my thoughts on this Gold Cup final between the usual suspects, Mexico and the USA, of course. They recently met in the inaugural Concacaf Nations League final, where the US went on to defeat Mexico after extra time. And we know what a disaster that game was for Tata Martino and his boys. And now the pressure is actually on him to deliver the Gold Cup to Mexico. Mexico are the most successful team in CONCACAF with 8 Gold Cup titles. They are the reigning champions, while the US has 6. So this is also a chance for the USA to close the gap to just 1 between themselves and Mexico and look forward to the next event to actually catch up to L3. So Berhalter and Tata Martino are meeting for the 9th time, with Berhalter picking up 2 wins and 6 losses. So Tata Martino, of course, is winning this battle, this head-to-head between the 2 managers. But psychologically, I think Berhalter has the edge here, seeing that he just won the Nations League ahead of a very strong Mexican team. And that US team was at full pelt, I think, but a very young US team. These 2 teams have a rich history going back forever, with the USA winning 19 of their games, Mexico winning 16, and 13 games ending in draw. So that makes it 48 previous meetings, according to the source I checked, and this would be their 49th ever meeting. To be honest, I did not even realize that the US had the edge over Mexico in terms of head-to-head, but they do. And when they play on home soil, their chances of beating the Mexican team is actually a lot higher than when they, of course, play in Mexico. So, look, these 2 teams have proven themselves to be the best teams at the 2021 Gold Cup. Went unbeaten, but for the USA, they have a better record, seeing that they have won every single game and they have not conceded a lot of goals. The US conceded against Martinique, and I think that was it. Did not concede anything against Qatar, right? This is amazing. This is a very amazing run to the final by the US men's national team. Mexico themselves have only conceded once as well, but still they drew a game against Trinidad and Tobago. And they were meant to they were made to fight for about 3 games: the Trinidad game, the El Salvador game, and that game last night against Canada. But for the US, I think they had an easier run, meaning not they had an easier path. They just performed a lot better, in my opinion. And when you really look at the caliber of the players that the US took, we would have never expected that to happen. So the only unbeaten team, well, the only team that has gone through the tournament without drawing or losing any game, it's the USA. It's simply an amazing performance. And you got to give it to Greg Berhalter and this very inexperienced bunch of guys. These very young guys. And I also got to put it out there that I really like that there's a cultural mix within the squad. And that's as far as I'm going to go in terms of that. And it has definitely helped things. It has really given the US a new dimension, a new look. And you could just see levels of stamina, the talent, and the drive within these players. And it has definitely made the MLS look good, because we all know people like to criticize the MLS, and I do a little bit of criticism myself, but the league is it's proven itself to produce some very talented players, as we can see at the tournament so far. So in terms of the US at the tournament, just to touch on both these teams before I let you guys know my prediction, and just to give you my honest, open thoughts on how each team has played. I've already been doing so, but let me touch on it some more. The US against Haiti, I think the guys were getting used to each other. Some of these guys, most of them are playing with each other for the first time. And I think it was one of the, I think it was the youngest ever US team ever put out. So very talented bunch of players. They needed that game against Haiti to gel and come together, and they did. They picked up a 1-0 win. Can't remember all the score lines for all the games. Just want to let you know. I'm doing this all off the top. Against Martinique, and you say, why, Dom? Why do it off the top when you could just look it up? Yeah, man. Guys, sometimes I just, psychologically, sometimes it's very difficult to get these videos out when you have so much to do. I haven't even ate breakfast yet. And there's news about all different things I got to talk about. But look, besides the point, 6-1 victory against Martinique, very convincing. They were pushed against Canada where they picked up a 1-0 win, courtesy of a goal by Shaq Moore, who has been very good at the tournament. And the US have now, it's like their squad has got deeper in like the space of the last couple of weeks, because you have guys like Shaq Moore, you have Miles Robinson at the back, you have Sam Vines, where the US was actually struggling in that left back position, and you have Sam Vines emerging, and he has done an amazing job. You got to talk about Walker Zimmerman, who picked up an injury. He has been solid as well. But James Sands, who does play in defensive mid and does play as a center back as well. I think he's a very talented player, but he has a lot of development to do. So James Sands one to watch, but I think he has not been as good as Miles Robinson. Matt Turner in goal. Oh my God. He's the reason why the US are actually still at this tournament and in the final, because against Qatar, he was a hero. He was a hero. So look, you got guys like Matthew Happy, who came and scored that goal against Jamaica. Another 1-0 win. A lot of 1-0 wins, but look, all you need is to score one and not concede, and you win the game. A win is a win, right? But the team has looked really good. You got to give it to Kellen Acosta in the middle. You got to give it to guys like Sebastian Leggett. You got to talk about Leggett, because he deserves a shout. The experience he brings, the quality of deliveries he put in from the corners, and so on and so forth. Daryl DK, he has grown in this tournament, but fell away a little after the Martinique game. Gianluca Busio, oh man, what a talent. Nicholas Gioacchini, what a talent. And before this tournament, guys, I wasn't familiar with most of these guys, Majority, I should say. I wasn't familiar with these guys, and they've taught me. They've really taught me something, that the US has some serious depth to work with, man. Am I forgetting anyone? Am I forgetting anybody else? I probably am forgetting some players, but these guys have been really good at the tournament. Seriously. They have been good. Zardes coming off the bench to great effect. Christian Roldan as well. You have backup in the squad like Jackson Yule. You have Eric Williamson, who did look good against Qatar. And the list goes on. If any of these other names pop up, I'll let you know. But look, against Jamaica, 1-0. Happy with the goal. Rolled on with the cross. Against Qatar, Zardes. Oh my God. Oh man, coming up clutch there. So look, a lot of 1-0 wins, as I said, but win is a win. The US has got the job done. They're in the final to face Mexico, and I have to give a lot of credit to Greg Berhalter. He deserves a ton of credit, because he's not a manager that I actually rated highly before this. But Greg Berhalter, your stock has just gone from here to the top of the screen right there, because you have done an amazing job with this bunch of players. And this is not the US A team. So think about when the A team is really put together. See what I'm saying? Woo! Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, Gio Reyna, John Anthony Brooks, Serginho Dest, Zach Steffen back in goal. You just think about that. You see what I mean? This squad, this bunch of players, one for the future. 2026 look out. 2022 look out. Mexico look out. Which brings us to Mexico. Tata Martino is under a lot of pressure here. He has to deliver this Gold Cup. No if, buts, maybe he's nothing. You're not going to go 2 tournaments without delivering a trophy for Mexico. In Concacaf at that. So, Gerardo Moreno, Gerardo Martino, Tata Martino, you got your work cut out for you here, because I don't think this U.S. team, I don't know why I was thinking Moreno, I don't know why, but I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't ask me. But you got your work cut out against this U.S. team. They're not going to lay down and be beaten that easily at all. So if you think that you're going to go and you're going to go over to Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, where the game will be played in front of a packed stadium, and you're going to walk over this depleted U.S. team, and I know the Mexican team is depleted too, but on paper, it's a more established team than the U.S. team. Not a whole lot of debutants. For the U.S., a whole lot of debutants. And Greg Berhalter has to be praised for the amount of debutants he have been blooding during his tenure. Tata Martino has brought a reasonable strong team. When you look at the Olympic squad that Mexico took to Japan, and you look at this squad, Mexico also have a lot of depth. And it's courtesy to their very strong league as well, you know, quality league. I don't watch a lot of the Liga MX, but I know what's going on. I know what's going on. Stand-up players for Mexico at this tournament so far has been Chaka, Luis Rodriguez, right wing. You have Jesus Corona, Tecatito, tormenting players. Picked up 2 penalties in the last game there as well against Canada. Hector Herrera, man, maestro, Atletico Madrid man who won the title with Atletico Madrid last season. He has been brilliant in the midfield. Orbelin Pineda, who came in for Chucky Lozano. Basically, he was on the bench. Chucky got injured. Pineda starts games these days. Rodolfo Pizarro, Chucky Lozano's replacement, where I actually think, I'm going to say this now before it slips me, Pizarro should start the final ahead of Jonathan Dos Santos, who's grieving for his father who has passed away. I think that should be a move that Mexico should consider making. Edson Alvarez had a quiet tournament so far, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's just my opinion. And I think Funes Mori has done a good job. He has been really threatening up top. The defense of Gallardo, Rodriguez, Salcedo, and what's his name? Is it Hector Moreno? He has am I getting that name right? Moreno. These guys have done a great job. These guys have done a great job. Arroyo may start the final as well. See that Salcedo stepped up, took a penalty, and yeah, missed. Maybe he'll pay the price for that. So I could see Mexico making a max of 2 changes. The U.S. maybe bringing in Gioacchini for Paul Arriola. Let me just put that out there right now before it slips me. But for Mexico at this tournament, really tested against Trinidad and Tobago. Brushed aside Guatemala. Yeah, we know Guatemala is... El Salvador really give Mexico a run for their money. Where up until that game, Talavera wasn't really tested that much, but Talavera was a busy man against El Salvador. Where against El Salvador and the game against Canada, he took the most touches. Where the games that he has taken the most touches so far in the tournament. Look, against Honduras, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, Mexico, breeze pass. But against Canada, oh man, Mexico were given a run for their money. Where at one point, the game was heading towards extra time, and Canada looked on the front foot. You also got to give it to Mexico for prevailing. They got 2 penalties, one in which they missed, which was saved. Kripo, give Kripo the credit there. Hector Herrera had to come up with a big goal, but Pizarro, Rodolfo Pizarro, a player, one of my favorite Mexican players, had to step up, and he had to be the creative force in that Mexican team, and I think was one of their best players in the game. Mexico 2, Canada 1. 15 minutes of extra time there. Ridiculous. Very controversial game. A lot of fighting. The fans came into the spotlight again for their shenanigans, which need to stop. Just got to put that out there. I don't want to see any of that in the final. Because if Mexico in a position where they're losing the game or drawing the game or it's not looking good, it's looking bleak, the fans need to just shut the hell up and let the game play. You see what I'm saying? It needs to stop. Concacaf and FIFA needs to do something about these fans. The fans need to do something about themselves. Let me just put that out there. But both teams have had good tournaments, with the U.S. being the most convincing, though. Because Mexico, 3 out of 5 games, they didn't look too good at all, man. They didn't look too good. And in that last game, Canada really pushed Mexico to the edge. So if you put into perspective that Canada did give U.S. a run for their money, but they came out losers on both occasions, right? Props to Canada. They're becoming a force again, because they're the only other team that, apart from Mexico and the U.S., that has won the Concacaf Gold Cup. So, props to Canada. They deserve a shout. They should actually get 3rd in the tournament. Qatar 4th. Look, this U.S. team won't be a pushover. They will give Mexico a run for their money. They will give Mexico a serious run for their money. The energy levels is high. The talent is there. I think they could match Mexico's speed of play. This is going to be a good one. This one could even go to 120 minutes like the Nations League final. And I think something special is actually brewing here. I've been impressed with this U.S. team. Mexico, I've been impressed, but there are these doubts, man. I predicted Mexico to win and get to the final. For the U.S., I didn't. So this is a team that has proven me wrong. I didn't even predict them to top the group. Prove me wrong. So, look, I think the U.S. are going to prove a lot of people wrong here for the 2021 Gold Cup. And I think they're going to... I honestly think the U.S. are going to reclaim this title. And I think they're going to win the game 2-1. It's a gutsy prediction I'm making here. Just might get it wrong. Just might be on the money. I know the Mexican fans might not be agreeing with what I'm saying here, but Mexican fans, go back and just watch how your team has been playing so far. I know defensively the team has been very good, but against El Salvador, a team that took the game to Mexico, and against Canada, a depleted Canada at that, the U.S. won't be depleted at the tournament. Coming into the tournament, yeah. But at the tournament, they still have pretty much all their available players. If the U.S. is going to be a difficult team to beat. Matt Turner may have to come up with some big saves again. But Talavera, I think, would be a busy man again. The U.S. takes it 2-1. It's a bold prediction. It's not biased because I live in America or anything. But I just have a good feeling about this team. And this would give the team a lot of confidence. It will give the team a psychological edge going into World Cup qualifiers come this September. For Mexico, they would have a lot of questions to ask. I don't think Tata Martino should get sacked if they lose. Greg Berhalter for sure won't get sacked if the U.S. lose, because this is a lot of progress made, I think, by a backup team. Seriously. I never expected it to be a USA-Mexico final. Maybe a Qatar-Mexico final, but not a USA-Mexico final. So I think the USA wins it, go through the tournament, winning every single game, and they become the new champions of CONCACAF once again. The kings of CONCACAF once again, to pick up their 7th Gold Cup title, closing in on Mexico's 8th. Guys, I've been going on way too long. And I think I've given a good analysis of these two teams. Maybe I could have talked about a few more things, but maybe tactically I could have talked about a few more things. But I think I touched on enough. And this video has been going on 20 minutes now. It's a more chill video. And as I said, guys, I've worked really hard during this Gold Cup, the Euros, and still managing to, deal with my family and everything on the household, and these cars I have to keep, you know, working on and all of that. So, and work, my main job. So I just figured I'm gonna just chill, sit back and just talk about this final. And I think I've done a great job. 20 minutes, no mistakes really, no blunders. Come on, like the video, subscribe if you're new. Let me know your thoughts down below. Let me know who you think would win the 2021 Concacaf Gold Cup. All right. So from your boy Dominic Rich, guys, thank you very much for your support throughout the tournament. I will be live on Sunday to talk about the final, the aftermath of that final. So make sure you subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you like it. From your boy Dominic Rich. Until next time, peace out. Rich Squad. Peace.